Well, we haven't seen any intellectual titanism from Dave Rubin in a while, so I thought that we'd go and see what he's up to. His channel is basically like buzz clippy sort of garbage. Since he started working for the Blaze, it's all kind of mind numbing and dumb. But I saw that he's got these two videos that are reviewing Jordan Peterson talking to some news hosts. So I thought, why not get a double whammy, a double, a twofer, a wham jam of Dave Rubin and JBP, and in all the same fell swoop. So this is news host visibly scared by Jordan Peterson's warning of what happens next.
Do you know what happens if we don't stay on that path of knowing what our rights are, knowing what we believe and why we believe it? They will keep a coming. They will keep a coming with the lies. They will keep a coming with the lockdowns, and they will keep coming with far worse things. Jordan Peterson actually talked about some of those far.
I forgot that Dave jumped super into this this fucking crazy idea of like COVID denialism. Lockdowns are like this horrible, unconstitutional fucking thing. He was trying to help push like ivermectin and shit when he was still trying to ball wash Brett Weinstein, things like that. But yeah. Even though like all the lockdowns have been lifted, even though slowly but surely, whether it's a good idea or not, things have been returning to normal. It doesn't matter. These dumb shits are desperately clinging to the idea that the new world order is locking us up in our homes and force vaccinating us.
Worse things with Rita Panahi on Sky News Australia.
Do you think what we did during COVID could usher in our version of a social credit system?
Oh, yes, definitely. Yeah, that's
And that it would-
highly probable.
And that it will be accepted by many people because, again, that
They won't even
yearning
notice.
for safety.
They won't notice even.
What is with the 140p that Dave then ripped for from Sky News, or his editor did? This is very weird. Are there even any lockdowns in Australia? Let's see. Lockdowns Australia? Because the thing is, let's see. Let's try news. Let's see. Top news. Killings, a chilling reminder of far-right threat in Australia. No. Australia emerged from 2 years of lockdown, seemingly intent on putting the past behind them and embracing a newfound sense of liberty. Doesn't sound like it is. Yeah, doesn't really seem like it is. It seems like they are done with all of the lockdowns in Australia. So what? Like, why persist on this narrative that the lockdowns, which are over, are going to lead to like some sort of authoritarian Chinese, oppression, suppression of the population? It's weird to me.
Yeah. You can't believe how much people don't know these things. When I went to the UK, I talked to some people from the House of Lords. This is within the last 6 months. The most astute of the people sitting in the House of Lords had only become aware of the woke movement in the last 18 months.
The woke movement. The woke movement. What the woke movement actually is a label adopted by brain-dead fucking rightoids that just basically is all the things that we don't like are just as bad as each other. Recently, Vosh made this really, really good coherent. It's not like it doesn't make coherent points. Very good cogent point that the right wants you to basically lump woke in with a lot of different things. That the enemies are things like groomers, child abuse, Satanism, like these types of things. And as they slowly but surely encompass everything under big umbrella terms. Now, not every right-leaning person thinks that the term groomer means like LGBT, but a lot of them do. A lot of them do. And if they can equate that, or if they can equate woke with groomer, then that also is along the same lines as being tertiarily adjacent, like basically standing next to things like Satanism, the great evil, child abuse, et cetera, et cetera. All of this is just to water it down into a very easily identifiable way to say that's bad. That's bad. And what this does do is it very easily dehumanizes people and makes it easier to combat them and to just make it seem like everybody is this evil piece of shit and should be opposed, if not at times distributed violence upon. That is the goal. That is what they're doing.
Oh, yes. You just can't believe how much this is not on people's radar. Not someone like you can't believe that at all because it's on your radar all the time. That's not, you live in a world that's on the cutting edge of this sort of thing. So people have no idea. It's like, well, why not have a digital passport? I mean, you know, how convenient. It's like, fair enough, and you can understand that. Wouldn't it be nice if we could pay for everything with our phones? It's like, wouldn't it be nice if the central government, who's woke-oriented and makes carbon dioxide remediation the priority, knows exactly what you spend on everything so they can target you tax-wise with...
They do that anyway. They fucking do that anyway. That's why there's taxes on very specific things. I mean, is Jordan Peterson freaking out because like some places tax alcohol more or tax, you know, cigarettes more or whatever, you know, your luxury cars and shit like that? This happens already. This happens already. There's no grand conspiracy. This is so insane.
Precision. It's like, oh, didn't think about that. It's like, yeah, you sure didn't. And oh yes, it's highly probable. It'll be a miracle if we escape from that. You can see these signs of this everywhere. You know, when you go through airports now, there's a lot of automated barriers. You show your passport. It's like, well, these are automated barriers. What if you can't go through them? Well, that's the situation for many people in China. It's like, what are you going to do? You're going to argue with the machine? Like, you just cannot imagine how screwed you are.
I'm not really sure what he's trying to get at here. Like a digital passport, some sort of like barrier against what? Like access to something? I'm very curious what kind of conspiracy he's building. I don't even like cigarette or alcohol or drug sin taxes generally. I mean, neither do I, but, you know, it's not like it's a conspiracy. It's just, it's true.
There isn't, it's way worse than anything Kafka ever imagined. Because at least with Kafka, there was bureaucrats. Faceless though they may have been, they were at least still human. Once the machines can lock you out, you are in such trouble. And we're speeding towards that with an immense lack of care.
You see why it's important to be awake? I would say if you watch this...
Wait. Are you saying we should be woke, Dave? We need to be woken up?
Show. You're probably an edge case on the front end of this, as he described to Rita, meaning that you are aware of some of this stuff. You probably didn't lose your mind over the couple of years, even though we were all given these horrific choices to make about going to work or being vaccinated or all these things. But we saw some of the stuff. We were willing to question some of the things, all of those things. And a certain amount of people aren't. And then a certain amount of people, as Jordan's laying out, will one day, after the digital passports are in and all of the stuff, they'll get to the airport, they'll scan their thing, and the machine will tell them, no, you can't get on that plane.
Why?
You liked this video, or you did this or that, or we're freezing your bank account. So all of these tests...
Hang on. Because you liked the video.
The stuff, they'll get to the airport, they'll scan their thing, and the machine will tell them, no, you can't get on that plane. You liked this video, or you did this or that, or we're freezing your bank account. So all of these tests have been running throughout the West.
Okay.
It just is, guys. But now Elon is exposing it. And that should give you some serious freaking oomph behind your desire to keep going.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's a thing. Now I understand what they're trying to say. They're trying to say that like there's some sort of like overwhelming woke agenda where if you consume the wrong kind of media or hold the wrong kind of beliefs, you know, they can lock you out of like certain things. This is very bizarre. Very, very bizarre. Does that happen in China? That's not exactly what social credit is really about. It's a little bit more nuanced than that, but whatever. It's fine. This is what they this is what they need to perpetuate their narrative of being victims.
Administration lies about something. They admit it with Psaki.
Oh, yeah. Jordan Peterson explains the real reason Musk Twitter is a game changer. Let's go.
Then they deny it a year and a half later with Corinne Jean-Pierre. Then Twitter dumps these docs, right? So Elon goes
Just like Elon banning people. Oh, whoa, hang on. That's different because he's not woke. That doesn't count.
goes to Matt Taibbi, Barry Weiss. They unleash these documents. They go around mainstream media. So then mainstream media, ABC, NBC, CBS, does not cover it at all on their 6:30 p.m. evening broadcast, which is...
Oh, the Twitter files. The Twitter files were so fucking dumb. So fucking dumb. The big Twitter files that they were trying to talk about was this idea that the Hunter Biden laptop story was suppressed on Twitter. What actually happened was the White House contacted Twitter and said, hey, there are pictures of the president's son's dick. Can you please take those off? Please. And so posts and accounts that had been spreading the president's son's pecker were suppressed for, I think, less than 48 hours. And then Twitter was like, actually, we shouldn't have done that. That seems wrong that we did that. They were openly transparent about exactly what fucking happened, 100%. And then that was it. And nothing about that was like not covered. It was covered by ABC, CBS, and NBC when it happened a year and a half ago. Them just bringing it back up to try and make it a big deal right before the fucking midterms. Wait, no, right before the midterms? Or was it right after the midterms? I guess it was right after the midterms. Okay, I'll be fair. It really is not that big of a fucking story. But the other thing that's really interesting is that these guys are not going to mention that the Trump White House actually had stuff removed from Twitter as well. It's just a thing that the government has access to when it comes to talking to Twitter and asking for things that might be sensitive to be scrubbed. It fucking happens. Oh, well.
Which is supposed to be the nightly news that would, at least one day back in the day, get you caught up on what you needed to know. But now they're, by omission, they default are not.
It was that's right. Yeah, it wasn't even the White House. It was Biden's. Yeah, it was a person who worked for Joe Biden. It wasn't even the White House. Right. So it was the Biden campaign. The one that they did for Trump was actually from the Trump White House. Yeah. That's right. Thank you for catching me on that, guys. I appreciate that.
Not allowing you to catch up on reality. And then, as we showed you earlier, the New York Times doesn't even cover it. So a certain amount of people will never be able to see anything true. And then we wonder why so many people are crazy, right? Because these people have been gaslit into oblivion.
What?
And why have they? Because doing the right thing is a threat to them. If enough people had belief in themselves, if enough people could honestly assess what's going on here and not be forced into doing things, but come to choices by their own conclusions, by their own logic and reasoning, we wouldn't need these people that much. And the whole structure wouldn't exist. That's a problem for them. Jordan Peterson.
He's got rid of 75% of the people, and Twitter is still working.
Not well. Pretty fucking bad. They have no communications team. They have no means of communicating with, major news networks. And, that's actually an interesting thing. Since Twitter has no communications team, it's very reasonable that if they're going to be releasing the Twitter files, if major networks are like, well, we're reaching out for comment before we run the story that is coming out on Twitter, and Twitter cannot respond because they have nobody to respond in the office, obviously they're not going to run the story. Why would they bother? Like, what the fuck, dude?
With record traffic.
Right, exactly. And so I think he will, and apparently he's also put the boots to the people who are trafficking in child exploitation already.
Incredible.
Right, no kidding. incredible in two ways. Incredible that he did it, but even more incredible that he could do it that fast and that it hadn't been done.
No, see, that's the thing. This is also a fucking lie. Elon destroyed the team that was in charge of making sure they were investigating and removing child material. He destroyed that. Absolutely destroyed that. Jordan Peterson is quite literally making shit up. This is so fucking crazy.
Isn't that the point? Nobody cared about the freaking child porn issue on Twitter.
They had an entire team working on it. They had an entire department that was dedicated. It wasn't a lot of people, but it was more than there is now, which is, I think, 0. There might be one person that's actually kind of dealing with Twitter safety now. And I don't know how the fuck they're supposed to keep up with it. It's so insane. You guys are such lying cocks.
Until 3 weeks ago. And suddenly there's too much child porn on Twitter because Elon has it and he's actually doing something about it. Things are changing right in front of our face. There is a chance that that superstructure that exists that has confused so many people, that more and more people can get out of it.
Oh man, this fucking, it's just outright lies. That's it. Like, there's nothing more to it. It's so fucking crazy. Well, if anything, we've dipped our toes in. We investigated to see what Dave Rubin has been up to lately, and yeah, he's still just as completely empty-headed. But now he's just he's moved into straight up lying. So that's cute.